everyone and welcome back to Luxury in Life. So today I thought I would do a video on the question that I get asked more than anything else. It's the one thing that people slide into my DMs and ask me all the time, and I always send them to my blog post because I've got a blog post on this. But for those of you who maybe haven't seen my blog or mainly just stick to watching YouTube videos, I thought this would be really helpful for you guys as well. And it's all about how I buy my pre-loved luxury handbags. Now, there are many different ways that you can go about doing this, and none of them are wrong, none of them are right. It's just whatever you feel comfortable with. This is what I feel comfortable with and what's worked out for me the best. So if you're interested, keep on watching. So as I said, there are so many different ways that you can get your hands on a pre-loved handbag. Most common ways are probably to get it from a reputable seller or shop or consignment store. There's lots of these. One of the most popular online ones is Vestiaire Collective. For Americans, I think Fashion File is a really big one, or you can go to places like Handbag Clinic who sell pre-loved luxury handbags as well, and a lot of them all have their own in-house authentication team. So when you buy from them, you can feel really confident that what you're buying has been checked thoroughly by professional authenticators, and that's why you pay what you pay on those sites. So if you go somewhere like Vestiaire Collective, you can find a range of different pre-loved handbags, but comparing to buying from the actual seller themselves, they obviously will be a bit more expensive on somewhere like Vestiaire or Luxury Garage Sale or Matches Fashion even, or Farfetched, because they obviously are making a profit as well. So what I like to do is cut out kind of that middleman, which is this company on this website, and I like to go straight to the seller themselves. So obviously a lot of the websites that use the goods from these sellers, obviously a lot of the time the sellers don't want to have to taking photos, giving people information, all of that, and that's why the websites can kind of take all of that hassle off your hands. If you're a seller who just wants to send it to somewhere, be done with it, you sort it out and all of that, that's why the website will make a bit of a profit, because they're doing all of the handling for them. Whereas I like to go to people who just don't mind doing it themselves, can give you all of the photos you need, answer all of your questions, and the way that I do that is on Facebook. Now, I know if you hear the word Facebook, you're probably going to think Facebook Marketplace, which I would not recommend buying from, to be honest. I don't think many people have had that many successful stories on there. I mean, you can get some really good bargains on there, but when I say Facebook, I mean specialist Facebook groups, private groups that people have created, that people have built up communities and trustworthy kind of groups of people. I don't mean just selling on your Facebook personal profile or on your feed or Facebook Marketplace. So private Facebook groups are the way I like to go. I know a lot of people might shop on eBay and things like that, which is fine. I know a lot of my friends in the bag community have got amazing deals on eBay. I personally don't quite like eBay for whatever reason. I've not really had a bad experience or anything like that, but I just don't trust it as much. Because with eBay, I think it's because the seller is anonymous. I don't know who they are. I don't know if they're really into bags. I don't know if they have like a bag community or if they're part of any groups. I can't see a picture of them. So for me, it feels it's very anonymous, and it feels a little bit uneasy. And whenever I've asked people on eBay if they can send me extra photos, if they can send me this, send me that, so I can get the item authenticated, I've always just had experiences where they've been quite reluctant to do that, and they'll just reply and say it's genuine. And I'm like, if it was, you would really want to help me out and just give me that extra information that I need. So yeah, I think eBay just hasn't worked out that well for me. So with Facebook groups, I feel a lot more connected to the seller. So the main thing I've got to say is I can't tell you what groups I am part of. I'd say I'm up to maybe about 10 bag groups on Facebook, all private groups, and I'm obviously not going to tell you the names of the groups, because a big thing for the groups is keeping them kind of away from the masses, because if we advertise those groups, that is just a huge red flag for a scammer to kind of create a fake profile, invite themselves to join that group and then start scamming people. And that has happened before. That's happened to me, so I'll go into that detail in a little bit. But so yeah, I can't tell you what groups I'm part of because we're trying to keep that secret community. We're trying to just keep it just to people who absolutely love bags, and we don't want to advertise just to anyone. So I'm more than happy for you to message me or say, oh, I've heard of this group, have you had any experience with that? Or could you give me maybe just one recommendation for one group that is in the UK for Louis Vuitton, and I'd be happy to do that, but I'm just not gonna advertise it to everyone. But if you want to drop me a message and ask me if I've had experience with a particular group, I'm more than happy to give feedback. So yeah, as I said, I'm a member of a lot of Facebook groups, and in there I'm a regular chatter with other people in there, so you get to know people on a level. You get to know people's collections and what they have and where they got them, for how much, and it's a lot more personal. You can see the person you're speaking to. You can as well, if you're a bit worried about a certain person in a group, you can search for their name and see how active they've been on that group. If they've never ever posted anything, it's likely they're just a watcher and a scammer, and it's not always the case, but if there's someone in there who are really enthusiastic about their bags, really part of the community, they've posted lots before, they've sold before, they've bought before, then you can kind of trust them a bit more that they are actually a member, an active member of that group, and they're someone that you can trust. So I'm going to list my top tips for buying in these Facebook groups, but some of these tips might also apply to buying elsewhere as well. My first one for buying in a Facebook group is, if you can, try not to post an I saw post, which is in search of. So I say this because I've been scammed this way before. So I went on one day and I put that I was in search of a never full in damier ebene with rose ballerine lining. So I went on there, so instead of me looking through it and see if anyone had put something for sale, I just went on, I'm looking for this, and just to see if anyone would get back to me. I did get a message from someone. They said, oh, I have a Neverfull and I was like, brilliant, can you send me pictures and all this? So they sent me pictures. It all looked great to me. I think I've got quite a good eye for what is authentic and what isn't. So I studied the pictures myself, all looked fantastic, but just in case, I always send pictures to a third-party authenticator. The two of the really good ones I use are Authenticate For You or Pro Authenticate. They're both on Facebook as well, and they are professional authenticators. They look at your photos, they ask you for any extras if they need it, they give you a certificate at the end, so it's quite trustworthy. So I always use authenticators. Even if I believe the bag is real, I still like to get a second opinion. So yeah, so after I posted that I was in search of a Neverfull and someone messaged me and said they had one, they sent me all the pictures, it looked great. I sent the pictures then to an authenticator who came back and said, yeah, this looks absolutely fine, this bag is authentic. I was over the moon. I was like, okay, yeah, I'd love to buy it. Always buy with PayPal goods and services. You are not protected if you buy with PayPal just with a money request, or if you just send money as a friends and family payment. You've got to buy with goods and services if you want to be protected. If that bag does turn out to be fake, or if they send you a different bag, or if they don't send you anything at all, you can open a dispute on PayPal, but only if you pay by goods and services. So I was like, yes, it all looks great, I'd like to buy it, can we pay by PayPal goods and services, and all of that. So I did pay, and then later on I was thinking, this seems too good to be true. The price was amazing. It was so much lower than anything else I'd ever seen before. The pictures, they just look so professional. I thought, is this too good to be true? So I had already paid for it at this point, and I thought, right, I'm going to just do a bit more digging. The authenticators have said it's real. I think it looks real. So the only thing I didn't do was do a reverse image search. So what you can do, so if you save the pictures that this person's posted to your computer, to your desktop, and then if you go on Google, you can actually search using an image. So what you do, you just go on Google Images, you drag that image from your desktop into the Google image search bar, I learnt this off Catfish, by the way. And if you do that and drag it into Google, you can see if that image is being used anywhere else on the internet. And if it is, it will come up. So I did that. I dragged the image into the Google image search bar, and surely enough, I found that image, or that whole set of images, on a website called Tradesy, which is a second-hand selling website. I think it's mainly for the US. It's kind of like a fashion file, that type of selling website. And it was all of the pictures that that person had sent me was on this Tradesy listing. So obviously the seller that I was dealing with was from the UK, and the person selling these images on this website was in the US. So what this person had done, they'd just gone on, they saw that I was looking for a Neverfull, they'd just Googled Neverfull, found something on Tradesy, saved all the pictures. Of course, if I was going to get those pictures authenticated, it would come back as real, because it is real. It's just somebody else's pictures, it's somebody else's bag. So at that point, I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. So I quickly tried to cancel my PayPal payment that I'd already sent, and file a dispute to get my money back and say, look, these images are being used elsewhere, this is not this person's bag, this person is a scammer, and all of that. So I did eventually get my money back, but if I hadn't have done that, I think what they would have done is probably just sent me a fake bag, which was not what was in the photos. So yes, so you can definitely get scammed, but I've learned so many lessons from buying through Facebook, and now these are all the steps. So first of all, I try not to post an in search of post. I try to just look through what people are selling. So then if I do an in search of post, I'm a bit more likely for a scammer to kind of jump on me, because they know I really want that bag. They know I probably want it quite quickly. So I try not to do in search of posts anymore, and I always now do a reverse image search. So that will tell you if those pictures are being used anywhere else on the internet. So the next way that you can avoid that happening is, a lot of the groups that I'm a part of ask that if you are posting a bag for sale, that you post a picture of your name written down on a piece of paper, and have that picture in every single photo of that bag. So for example, if I was selling this Speedy, I would write on a piece of paper my name, Kimberley, and take a picture of this bag with the name card in it. And every single picture I take, so then if I tried to take one of the inside, I'd have the name card there. If I took one of the bottom, I'd have the name card there. So we know that every single picture I've taken is mine, and I own that bag. Because a lot of the time, even if you took one picture with kind of maybe a fake bag with your name in it, you could steal a lot of other pictures offline. So obviously there are ways around this. People might be Photoshop wizards and they might Photoshop their name card in there, but it doesn't happen very often. So a lot of the time, one of the rules of the groups is, if you're going to sell a bag, you need to post your pictures with your name in every single one. As I said before, anyone can take any image off the internet and say that they own that bag, but if they've got a set of images which has the name card in every single image, it's a lot more kind of reliable and a lot more trustworthy. So as I said before, I'll just reiterate, just to make sure that the seller is an active member of the group. Search for their name, make sure they've been posting before, speaking to other members of the group, they've sold before, they've bought before. I think it's a huge red flag if the person has had no activity in the group and the only kind of communication you've had with them is through private message. That's a huge red flag. The group say don't just sell through messaging, you need to actually list your item and follow the rules of the group. So to round up all the things you want to do before you even considering buying from someone on a Facebook group, make sure that they are active in the group, that they have sold and listed before. Make sure that you've done a reverse image search of the images and they don't appear anywhere else on the website. Make sure they've posted images with a name card in every single image that they've posted. Send the images to a third-party authenticator to make sure that the bag is actually real. Once you've done all of that, if the seller agrees to pay that you can pay by PayPal goods and services, and if they answer all your questions, if they send you any extra images that you need, if they just comply with everything and you just feel really good about the communication, then you're definitely onto a winner. And as I said, if anything else did go wrong in the future, you are protected by PayPal with the buying for goods and services. Again, don't buy with friends and family. So if you've checked off all those points, then you're ready to go ahead and buy your bag. So those are the ways that I like to buy my bags, and I have had some great experiences. I've got some amazing pieces, and what's really good about the way that I buy is I'm not just buying from a random person who has bought something to maybe make money on it or something like that. I'm buying from someone who is an active bag enthusiast like me, someone who kind of really enjoys the whole process of buying, of seeing what other people have got, of maybe selling something, getting something better that they like. And it's just a really good community, and it's a really better way to buy, I think. And obviously buying pre-loved or vintage is just a really good way to buy in general. It's sustainable, it's good for the environment, you're not wasting things, you're using something that somebody else was just not using, it was just sat in someone's shelf and it was just going unloved. So it's the best way that I like to buy, and this is the way I feel safest, following all those steps that I've mentioned, and I've been able to get some really great things because of it. I'll actually link a blog post below which details everything that I've bought so far and how much I've been able to save. I've saved so much money, thousands of money, buying pre-loved compared to if I was to go and buy in the store brand new. So it's an amazing way to buy. You can save so much money, and yeah, I just get so much more of a kick out of it doing it the way I do it and buying from the lovely sellers that I buy from. And just to say as well that these tips are just my personal experience. They're not for everyone, and it's not in any way a foolproof guide. You've got to do your research, you've got to kind of be really vigilant with how you buy. You can get scammed. I've been in that position before, and it is quite scary because it's not, you know, it's not a small amount of money that we're dealing with here. It's usually quite a bit of money, so you want to just make sure you do everything right. Just protect yourself as much as you possibly can, and then once you get into it, you'll know kind of the things to look out for, the red flags, and you'll know mistakes to avoid, and you'll just get better at it. And like I say, I feel like I'm in a good position now where I can tell if something's real or fake. I can kind of get a good idea for the person that I'm buying from, if they kind of seem a bit hostile or a bit kind of unwilling to participate in just giving me what I need. So I think I've got a really good handle on it now, and it's definitely the way I'm going to continue to buy from now on. So thanks again for watching. If you do have any questions, do leave them down below. I'll be happy to answer them. And again, if you'd like to DM me on Instagram or anything like that, I am at Luxury and Life UK, and my blog as well is luxuryandlife.co.uk. So I'll leave the blog post version of all these tips down there as well, just in case you want to read a bit more about it. But thanks again for watching. I'd love it if you could subscribe so you can come back for more videos. But that's it for this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.